for that top 10.
Time for that top 10.
So we got a top 10 that's different. So what we decided to do is our top 10 games that aged like milk. And for those that don't know what that term means, it means they were good at the time, but after years you've gone back and played them, you're like, it's not so good. Or the remakes are better, you know?
Yeah, and I had a lot of games that I did go back and play. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
A game that would be a complete opposite of this, like I could go back and play, of course, Chrono Trigger, right?
Oh, yeah.
I could easily pick that up and play it again and have fun with it. Get lost in that fantasy world. And there's other games that I can think of that you can easily pick up again nowadays that was maybe 15 to 20 years old.
Final Fantasy VI. I mean, all these games.
Yeah, a lot of those games back in the SNES, you can pick up a lot of those and play today. But anyway, so let's get into this top 10. Top 10 games that age like milk.
Is it me or you?
It is me.
Go ahead.
All right. Grant, we actually had this game on one of our top 10s. Grant, this is Squaresoft's. Probably one of their final games is Squaresoft.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say final, but one of the last games they made as Squaresoft. They stand before they became Square Enix. It's called The Bouncer, Grant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
The Bouncer that came out on PS2 is one of their first games on PS2, if not the first game they made on PS2. Let me pull up a picture. But anyway, Grant, The Bouncer. I dabbled in this, I'd say about 8 years ago. I went back to play, and that was 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Graphics kind of gotten better since then, right? But I remember having an okay time with it when I played it because, it was a Squaresoft game. Okay, cool. It was a cool. They tried to dabble in something new. It's okay when I first played it. But Grant, it is complete fucking shit now.
Yeah.
Like, I could not even get through the first 5 minutes, dude. I was done with it. Bouncer on PS2 it definitely aged like milk. It was just complete garbage.
Mm. All right, my number 10. Ed, this game is based on one of the most iconic horror movies of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're a kid, you don't know any better. The game is Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
All right. So when this game came out,
Friday the 13th on
Nintendo.
Yep.
Yeah, not the new one where like he takes their face and like throws it in the saw and shit. That's pretty cool. We're talking about like the original. All right. So basically, this game you're just kind of like going. You have to save the camp kids, basically. Just like the first game.
Yeah.
And then you're having to travel from campsite to campsite, cabin to cabin, and through the woods and all that. Yeah, just like that, all through the woods and stuff. And first of all, Jason does not look like this at all. He's wearing a purple suit. But anyway, so you're like throwing a rock and you're throwing your knives and all this other stuff at him, and you're just thinking, okay, well, you got to kill Jason or whatever. Well, you go back and you play this game, and this game is terrible. You go left, the map goes right. You go right, you go left. You go into the thing, and then it tried to do this like 3D thing on an 8-bit screen where it's kind of like you go straight. And you ever seen that where it's like tries to look 3D on an 8-bit? Looks terrible. And then when you finally get Jason, you can't kill him. Like you just can't beat him. This game is impossible. It's terrible. But at the time, you're like 4, like, oh my god, it's like the Resident Evil of our time. It's the scariest game in the world.
Yeah. All right. My number 9, Grant, was a popular game back then. It was considered the Halo killer.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not Killzone. It's Haze.
Oh yeah, Haze. I remember even that name, Haze.
PS3. All right. So Haze, again, it was hyped as a Halo killer. I liked it. I thought it was a fun game to play.
Mm-hmm.
But, it did have, it was kind of buggy and I would say bland in some areas. But to me, I enjoyed the game. Go back to play it now, Grant. It's like, imagine playing the first Call of Duty game, which I can actually pick up today and play it, honestly. Mm-hmm. I love the old Call of Duties. But imagine just, worse gameplay, horrible maps, buggy gameplay, and just complete just I mean it aged so horribly that when I played it, this one I picked, I think it was like maybe 5 years ago. I played it again, and that was only like not that long after it came out.
Mhm.
Okay, and there's so much other things that are so much better. I mean, like independent FPSs from these small studios have better games than this. Yeah, pixelated FPSs that are better than this.
Yeah, oh, yeah. All right, number 9. Ed, this game was considered to be on par with GoldenEye. It's from the Nintendo 64, and it was Mission Impossible.
Ooh.
Now, during this time, when you played an N64 game, okay, I probably played this game from an aspect of I was a Nintendo, like, because we all know by now, as you got older, you realize Nintendo 64, besides like the big three, Mario, Zelda, and, whatever, had a terrible catalog of games. Just not really good at all. I mean, you think about it, it was pretty terrible overall.
Expect the impossible, Grant.
That's right. So I probably played this game like, oh yeah, this game is just as good as GoldenEye. This game is better than anything on the PlayStation because I was a Nintendo guy. You know what I mean? I tried to because I got a Nintendo 64 and you have to fight hard for your click, basically, right?
Yeah.
So when I played this game, I played it from, oh man, this game is just as good as GoldenEye. Oh, you see what I just did? Huh, they couldn't do that in PlayStation. Shit like that. But you go back and you play this game is fucking trash. Like it's just not good. It's buggy. The movement is awful. The fighting, the shooting, and everything's just terrible. Like it's just not a good game. It's bad.
Yeah, this one was pretty bad.
Yeah.
All right. Grant. A game I actually enjoyed. I thought this was a shit back when I was younger. Grant, you remember the beach volleyball Dead or Alive?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Boy.
Extreme beach volleyball. Boy,
Boy.
back in the day, this was the shit.
Oh yeah.
But those pixels and those graphics did not hold up.
Terrible.
Polygon breast and does not hold up, dude. But anyway, yeah. So my number 8 is Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Oh yeah. Now they didn't look like this in the game. No. This is not what it looked like.
They tried to.
All right. My number 8, Ed. This was one of the first games for the PlayStation 3.
Mm-hmm.
You actually liked this game when you came over, when you came and visited from Okinawa. I'll never forget it because you played it because I was terrible at it and you were really good at it. Resistance. When this game came out, this was like, oh my God, this is the greatest game of all time. But now you go back and play it. Ever since games like Call of Duty and all these other games have been out, it's not that good. It's pretty clunky. I
actually really liked this game.
I didn't like it. It was good. It was good back in the day. But now you go back and play it 15 years later.
No.
Yeah, 15 years later.
I just play the hell out of this game.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Resistance, Fall of Man.
Yep.
Nope. All right, Grant. My next one came out on PS3 and Xbox 360.
Okay.
I love this. I love the old school, man. Duke Nukem forever. I love Duke Nukem. I grew up in Duke Nukem.
You just don't love him forever.
You just don't love him forever. So this guy, or this game, at the time was like, holy crap, Duke Nukem's back. You play it, it's okay. It's okay, Duke Nukem. It's not the best.
You wanted to like it. Like you wanted to like this game.
Yeah. But try to go back and play it now, after everything we've seen.
You're not going to get past the first level.
Even the newest Duke Nukem that came out several years ago is far superior than that.
Mm-hmm.
Even at the time of release. But yeah, this game was just it's aged really badly.
Yeah.
And I can't see anybody playing this anymore with what we have today, or at least enjoying it.
2K games, man.
Yeah.
Surprised they didn't make you have to like microtransaction all the guns and stuff.
Yeah. All
right. Number 7. Ed, this was the first big game for the Nintendo 64. Big title. Mortal Kombat 4. All right. Now it also came out for the PlayStation 1, but I had an N64. This game you thought at the time was really good because of the graphics. Like, oh shit! And then you could like shuffle. What do they call it when video games can shuffle side to side when you can go around in circle? You know what I'm talking about? Where
Yeah.
you can. Okay. Um, you're like, oh my god, this is the game. And then it had the big boobs, like here, like her right there. What's her name?
Yeah.
Kaya or something? I can't remember. I can't remember all their names. But now you look at it especially with the new Mortal Kombat's out with the graphics and everything. This game looks terrible. Graphics are bad. Blood is just the voice acting is just everything about this game is putrid, which it might make it the worst Mortal Kombat.
I would say I would agree with that. It's definitely the worst.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
But at the time, you're like, oh man, this is great. Like the graphics are like the arcade. This is like arcade graphics on the home system. It's like having a Neo Geo, Ed.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, this is my number 6.
Okay.
Yeah, my number 6.
Okay. My number 6. It's also a fighting game for the PS1. And this was before Tekken really took off, right?
Virtual Fighter?
No. Battle Arena Toshinden.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
So when this game came out, like I remember back before, let me story time. Gather around, kids. Before we bought a PS1 or whatever, you could used to rent them. I remember, forget it was $20. You can rent one for $20 for like 4 days, right? Yeah. And this is the game that came with it. This game, it came with this and NFL Game Day 95. I'll never forget it, right? And boy, this game was, well, first of all, it's PlayStation. You're like, oh my God, these graphics can't get better than this, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right? Like this is like the greatest game of all time. Like it doesn't get better. But now, ever since you have like Virtua Fighter and Tekken, well, Virtua Fighter is probably on par with early like Virtua Fighter 1. But like Tekken Tag, this game is terrible. Everything's slow, everything's clunky, everything is just bad. And the graphics are actually pretty shitty, like really shitty. It's just whenever you go from Super Nintendo to this, you're thinking it's the greatest thing ever.
That's pretty good. Grant, I have my next one. This is a game I actually like because I really like the rapper.
No, is it Paw Rapper?
No, it's not that.
Oh.
Grant, I loved 50 Cent, dude.
Oh man, who didn't?
Well, Grant, and then they came out with the 50 Cent Bulletproof on PS2.
Oh man.
Grant, this was quite possibly. First off, the cover. Let me show you the cover. The cover barely looks like 50 Cent.
Oh no, it looks like 25 cents.
Do you remember that cover?
Oh yeah.
All right, dude, come on, dog.
Yeah, that was like $1.25.
Even back then, he still didn't look like that. Okay, but anyway, so it had not only the bad cover, but it also had the bland missions and dude, the dialogue in this game. I would challenge anyone, if you have a ROM or whatever, go back and play this game and listen.
50 Cent wasn't a good actor on this.
No, but the dialogue is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like it is embarrassing. I love 50 Cent, but this is bad. This was really bad.
Yep. All right, Ed, my number 5. For this game and this game only, I wanted a Sega Genesis, and no, it wasn't Sonic. I wanted this game was the game that made me want a Sega Genesis, and if I played it, they had it on arcade. I would sink all my money into it, and I used to think this was the greatest game of all time.
What's that?
The game is called Altered Beast.
Oh yeah.
All right. Because you get the little orbs, you power up, then you get the third one, you get the third orb or the second orb, and then you turn into the beast. All right, you turn into the werewolf, and the other guy was like the pterodactyl or whatever he was, and then you're just killing stuff. Ed, about 3 years ago, I got one of the Sega Minis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this game was on there. And this was the first game I played. And as I was playing it, I was like, oh, wow, this game fucking sucks. Like, this game is pretty shitty. I actually hate this game. So,
you hate this game?
It's not as good as I remembered. It is not as good as I remember. This was a classic.
They remade this on a PS2. You remember that?
I didn't know that actually. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it came out on PS2 also. They remade it. And
I
it
just
was
remember.
fucking terrible.
Okay, well then they
They made
didn't really.
two,
Then they
two
really didn't
terrible games
remake
in
it.
a row. Yeah, they didn't.
Then
It
they
was
really didn't
fucking
remake
remake.
it. um, I think this was more of a nostalgia thing for me because it was good back then because of the way it looked.
Yeah.
So you had no choice but to enjoy it because you're like, oh man, this is great, you know. But now with all the gameplay has evolved, and you go back and play it, it's a pretty shitty game. Pretty shitty game. Ed. It's a classic. Don't get me wrong, it's a classic. It's just it didn't age well.
Yeah. All right, Grant. Here's a hot take.
Okay.
Hot take. Was this number 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grant, quite possibly one of the best games ever made, right?
Okay.
Right. And created one of the most iconic game characters ever. We got movies featuring her and everything like that. But Grant, have you ever tried to go back and play the original Tomb Raider?
Boy, you have taken mine off my list. But yes, I have because I
I'm
have
not talking about the remaster. I'm talking
no,
about
no.
the
Here's the
OG.
thing. Here's the thing about it. So I do have the remaster, but on the remaster, you can turn off the newness and make it look like the classic game. Like you can turn that off. And boy, when I turned it off, I was like, this is ugly as fuck. Like this is ugly. Like so in the remaster, they darkened everything. Like they put shadows and everything that where it should be, right?
Yeah, try to smooth out the polygons, all that
Correct.
stuff.
Yeah. So when you turn that off, like everything's like it's like you when you walk into a room and you turn on the light, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it is when you take off the remaster effect. It's bright and it is ugly as shit. And there's another classic game on my list that is pretty much the same way.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. Go back and play it.
That's all. That's my number two.
That's not 2. All right. That was your number 2, right? All right, go
That's
ahead.
my number 2, but I'm on number 4. Number 4, Ed, was one of the first survival horror games, right? At this time. This is before Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the PC. This is Alone in the Dark, buddy.
Alone in the Dark. Yep.
You know? Back then, you're thinking, oh boy, you're just imagine being late night on the computer, on the Tandy 1000 playing this game. You got your big ass speakers that came with the computer, you know, you got the music.
Yep.
Sound right. And then you have whatever graphics that are good at the time. You're like, oh my God, this is the scariest game. This is like being in a real survival horror game in real life. But now you go back, and this game is dookie. It is bad. It is trash. And it's not good. Now, I know they did a remake to this game.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't play the remake to this game.
It wasn't.
But the original one
was all right.
Was terrible.
I think the remake's on the PS5 right now. It's like usually when you expect a remake, you expect pretty much the same game except they just of course make it next gen, right? That's pretty much what you expect. Well, they fuck with a lot of things in the remake.
Well, let me say this. This is what I think a remake should be. They should take the game, right? And they should play like, wow, this is bad. What can we do to make it better? Right? That's what you should do. You should focus on, if it's a good game, you shouldn't focus on that. But if it's just a mediocre game compared to what you have now, you should say, man, this is not good. Let's fix this with our today's technology, right? Like, for example, if I lost my arm and I have the option to get an arm from now, like a robotic arm, right? You're not going to put a broomstick on my arm from the 70s, right? I'm not going to be like the pirate guy from Family Guy. You're not going to make me look like that. That's basically what they did with this game. They just kept it the same and just upgraded the graphics. I'm like, here you go.
All right. What is this, number 2 now?
No. We're on number 3.
3? All right. My third one, Grant. Let me pull up an image. Dude, I really love these games. Perfect Dark games. I really liked them.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark 0 wasn't good as original, but it was okay. But they really like I would say that early gen awkwardness to it. Because it came out on Xbox 360. Perfect Dark 0 did. But when it released on Xbox 360, it felt like it wasn't made for the next gen title. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that
Hmm.
at the time when 360 came out, like it wasn't made for it.
It was still for Xbox, but they had to release it for the Xbox
Kind
360.
of, yeah.
Yeah.
And they try to keep it's kind of like a regurgitation of the original, I would say. But like you go back and play this, it's really bad looking. Like it's really bad. Not even like I can go back and play some Xbox 360 games, but this game, it was like it was made for, I would say, PS2 or earlier.
Hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And just not wasn't a good sequel at first. Um, but now it's just like there's no way you can go back and play it. There's
Yeah.
so many older games like this that are so much better.
Yep. All right. My number 3. Ed, if you think of some things, if you take a good game or just a good title and you add a fighting game aspect to it, you would think that works, right? I mean, they did it with Double Dragon, the fighting game. Great, good game. If you think of the Ninja Turtles, remember Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter?
Yep.
Great game. So why didn't it work for Star Wars Masters of Terra Kasai? You remember that game?
Yep.
So when you play that game, you think, oh boy, Star Wars and a fighting game? You mean I could fight, Luke Skywalker versus Han Solo? He's got his gun. I got my lightsaber. Sounds like a good game, right? Game was
Sounds like a
terrible.
great game.
Game was terrible, Ed. Like, you would think that Disney got a hold of this game and made it. That's how bad it was.
Think about any modern Star Wars games we got recently. Someone
Like
EA got a hold of it.
The concept of this game should have been good, but it wasn't. You know, you got Yoda versus Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
Oh boy,
like, well, how can you? You got Star Wars.
Uncle Brooks, what's up, man? He said he finally called us live. That's good, man. What's up?
How can you not have make a good game out of Star Wars? Like you got the name, and they decided, you know what? Let's take a big shit on the name and come out with all these games. And there's a lot of terrible Star Wars games. This is not just one of them. There's a lot of terrible recent ones. Oh, I wouldn't say recent ones like Battlefront and stuff. The new Battlefronts by EA. I mean, there's so many others. I would put it. Listen, I'm gonna put Star Wars Outlaws on it too.
Yeah.
I mean that they really missed the boat with that game. They really messed it up.
I mean,
What's up, Uncle Bucks? Thanks for joining.
Look at what's his name's face.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing with this. Grant. No idea.
So go ahead and do your number 2 and then number 1 because my number 2 was Tomb Raider. We already talked about it. So go ahead.
You remember the old Twisted Metals, right?
I do remember Twisted Metal.
Dude, I love Twisted Metal.
It's great.
Those were some of my favorite, I would say, combat/racing games, right?
Mm-hmm.
They really brought me back. I don't know if you remember one game. I brought it before, but rock and roll racing back in the day on the Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
you could blow stuff up. Then Twisted Metal came out on the PlayStation. Man, those games were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And Twisted Metal 3 came out. I enjoyed it because I love Twisted Metal. Okay, I enjoyed the first two. I enjoyed the third one kind of. But Grant, this game, you go back and play this game. It is horrible. It is quite possibly one of the worst racing games I ever played. If I went back and played it, which I did several years ago, this game did not hold up. Yep. It aged completely like fucking milk, dude. Yep. But yeah, Twisted Metal 3.
All right. So go there. My number 2 is Tomb Raider. So go ahead and do your number 1. We probably got the same number 1.
Tomb Raider? Probably, maybe. Mine's kind of a hot take.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, who knows? Anyway, Grant, you remember back in the Nintendo 64 days, right?
Okay. All right. So we don't have the same one.
No, probably not. Nintendo 64 days. Dude, they dropped the game that was like we played this game so much. I don't know if I played it with you, but I remember playing with other friends, dude. We played this game nonstop. And at the point we were like, there is no way an FPS can get better than this.
Ah, yes.
Okay. This was the gold standard back in the day.
Keyword gold.
Gold. Grant, GoldenEye.
Yeah, I could see that.
That is my number one game that aged like milk.
Okay. That
Go
makes
back and play GoldenEye, dude.
I think once people I think what made the game was the battle, the versus mode, because um that was the most fun part about the game. Like, it got to the point to where nobody really wanted to play the story mode anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right. I feel what you're saying. Like, just the way that it didn't hold up well.
Dude.
But
I
back
love
then,
the fucking game.
oh yeah, dude. But back then,
It revolutionized FPSs, honestly.
no,
If you think
yeah,
about it, like co-op, couch co-op, whatever. I mean, this was the jam.
yeah,
This was the game back then.
yep.
But I can't go back and play it, man. It's so old.
All
And
right,
everything's so they've revolutionized since then. The FPS genre. It's just hard to go back and play these kind of games.
here we go. My number one is not a hot take, and thank God for remasters and remakes, because my number one, Ed, is the original Resident Evil. That game, when that first came out,
I can see that.
I'm saying, here's the thing: is it wouldn't be on here if, well, I don't know, it might still be on here. Like I said, again, thank God for the remakes and remasters, because, and it's the same way with Tomb Raider. It's just a different game. The polygons and the movement and the terrible voice dialogue, and oh, you were almost a Jill sandwich. The whole thing. Now, at the time, this was the scary. I mean, this was the game, dude. Like, this game was terrifying, right?
Yeah.
But now, if you go back and you play this version of the game, the movement is terrible. It takes you 45 minutes just to turn around and shoot something. The voice acting is terrible. And if you go back and watch the movie at the beginning, the acting is terrible there. I mean, they got Wesker looking like, but dude, the way that they made Wesker look, I mean, he looks like a Ken doll. Like, he looks like his hair is made out of plastic.
Yeah.
Right. But everything's, there's nothing spooky about it because everything is so bright. Like, everything, like the color. I mean, it's just so, like, the one thing they did in the remakes is they darkened everything. They added thunder and lightning and rain and just, outside and the
better
wind.
Controls,
yes.
All
that stuff, which was great. But on this one, like on this one, you couldn't, that whole outside area is not even in the game, like that's new,
Yeah.
But like, it's just not even terrifying. It's just like playing a regular game. And the zombies look stupid. Compared. I mean, they're just, they don't even look like, I mean, they just, all they know, that's all they do. And they're slow.
Yeah, I agree with this one. Yeah, this is a good one.
So for people who are confused that are watching, we're not saying these games are bad at all. Our top 10 is games that were great at the time, but as they aged, aren't so good.
Yeah. Do you have a game, or I would say any games that you can think of that were back in the day, but age like, I would say, wine?
Well,
yeah, age like wine.
Well, I mean, shit, games that age like wine. I mean, you can go with all the Final Fantasies ever. Earthbound.
Yeah. Chrono Trigger, of course.
Chrono Trigger.
Dude.
Wizards and Warriors, man. Like, I know I did a video on that, but man, that game's great. That game's just a great game. It's not hard.
The top Zeldas, like Link to the Past.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course.
Yes, dude. The old Strike games. Do you remember the helicopter strike games?
Counter-Strike?
No, I'm talking about like Soviet Strike, Jungle Strike, Desert Strike.
Uncle Buck said the original Silent Hill. You can't put the original Silent Hill on here. Yes, you're right. But at the time, that game was terrifying. Because I'm thinking to myself, why are monsters moving like they shouldn't be moving like that? I don't like that. It's just, that's scary.
But you go back and play those Strike games, they're actually still fun.
Yeah.
They're still fun. But yeah, all the ones you said, Final Fantasies, of course. You know,
you can
I'll
say
give it
that. You know,
yeah.
I mean, besides the graphics, I mean, what is it? Mario
Fun.
Kart,
I mean,
original
yeah,
Mario Karts,
yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, those
yeah.
are all good games.
But yeah, top 10.
But I will say there's a lot. There's a lot of one. I mean, this is just like the surface. I mean, there's a lot more that we could probably, if we really sat down and like made a top, we could probably make a top 100.
Yeah, we could.